Okay, this is take 3 because my videos are too large to upload. So here we go. So this week for my first activity, I decided to focus on Standard 2. And the reason I chose Standard 2 Instructional Leadership for my first assignment is because this past week we were very much in EOG mode at our school with our final days leading up to EOG starting on Friday. So our teachers have been very data driven, trying to utilize every last minute to use their instructional time to review and get these kids ready to be successful on their end of grade test. And then I got to see it from the admin perspective too, of our principals trying to ease teachers and students' anxieties and fear of these tests coming up with just the pressure to perform, essentially. So that's why I chose Standard 2 as my first standard activity. So Standard 2 is really about the principal's role as an instructional leader, prioritizing teaching and learning while supporting continuous growth or school improvement. So through my internship and through my conversations and observations I've had this past week, it's definitely deepened my understanding for how effective principals serve as evaluators within the school setting, and learning being the center of their leadership. With my discussions I had with my admin team, there was a lot of just talk of how evaluation is looked at as judgment, and them working to find that line and clarify and clear it up with teachers of that evaluation is not judgment. Evaluation is merely a tool for development, not a criticism. And they said it is hard. Some teachers are harder than others to get that mindset to change. So they work at removing that fear and uncertainty that is associated with the word evaluation. And it starts with, as a leader, building trust and relationships with your teachers. So that led to a really cool conversation that we had throughout the week. My assistant principal, Dorian Barnes, who was our instructional coach, I took her position while she stepped up to be assistant principal. She told me that the thing to always remember is that we were teachers first. So having that empathy, knowing how hard it is to be in that classroom and have all those responsibilities, and that lets the teachers have much more trust and respect for you too when you show that you understand that and you were a teacher first as well. And to also just be their biggest cheerleader, know their heart, know their energy that they're putting into it, and supporting that while you are also trying to help them grow. So those were some things that they said that really stuck with me. With instructional leadership and being in charge of the evaluative process and classroom observations, they share how these observations have to be consistent. But my principal, as being a first-year principal, Mr. Horn, he has said that for him, he goes in, he said since day one, he wants to see every single classroom every single day. So that's what he does. Every day he makes sure he steps in every classroom as long as he is on campus that day. And he says that to him is more important and gives him a better picture as an evaluator than that 30-minute formal window where he has to sit down with his laptop and formally observe the instruction a teacher is giving. But then he still utilizes that informal evaluation and data to provide meaningful conversations with his teachers in his building. That commitment, those walkthroughs are just important to him and meaningful to the teachers as well. And he says that it's just much better than those isolated moments that he has. As much as he enjoys those too, he likes to see the progression through students' learning and the excitement they have to share with him what they're learning or what they're working on. Just gives him a clearer picture and the importance of what's going on every day rather than one little moment that you get to have a chance to witness. But he says the feedback that he gives has to be timely, has to be specific, and he only wants it to be conversational. Whether it's a sticky note, an email he leaves, or a formal sit-down post-observation conference, the goal for him is to encourage reflection and professional learning. And his biggest philosophy, besides seeing every classroom every day, has been breaking down barriers. He wants for teachers' main focus and only stressor to be instruction, teaching those kids. So anything else he can take off their plate to lessen their load, taking those responsibilities whenever possible, that's what he wants to do, because he wants them to just focus on the teaching. So that's kind of been his approach as a first-year principal, and making sure that his teachers feel supported rather than judged, even though he is an evaluative leader in the building. With our faculty meetings, our admin team actually sits back and allows the teachers to do the talking, the learning, the questioning, the leading. It's a place of collaborative trust, professionalism. It should be a place where more student successes and achievement is shared, and maybe more PD opportunities or school improvement aligned topics. But it is neat that we're not talked at. It's just a big conversation, and we make sure that even with decisions that we have to make, Miss Barnes, my assistant principal, always says that we have to use the driving force of what's in the best interest for our students. That's number one, being student-centered. My role, different than admin's role right now, I'm not in an evaluative role, so I'm just alongside and a peer with teachers, helping them to analyze data, make instructional decisions, support them on their strategies, have conversations with them, as opposed to admin, then have to do that evaluative feedback part of it. My admin team has definitely pushed me outside of my comfort zone since day one of my internship, forcing me to see all the layers and all the lenses and be ready at the stop of a dime to switch my hat and have to be somebody else or somewhere else in the building. But it's teaching me a lot, teaching me flexibility, empathy, and willingness to serve wherever is needed. They say that's very important as a leader. So I've had to sub or cover in different classrooms. I've had to do specials. I've had to go to different schools and help assess students on our roster that are in a different specialized program and a different campus, and go support them one day. So there's been a lot of elements. I had to sit in a financial meeting with HR and our admin just the other day on the purchasing and process of our portables, our new trailers coming. So I'm definitely getting a wide range of experiences for sure. With the the article I read on Bernstein's ideas that I wanted to include, his pedagogic discourse that really resonated with me, is kind of what my philosophy of teaching's always been. I just never knew how to put words to it. That he said education extends far beyond curriculum and instructional standards. It includes the relationships, the culture, the encouragement, and the possibilities you build in a school community. And that's kind of how I've always thrived as a teacher, is that there's so much more than just the academics we're teaching them. We can't limit ourselves or limit what the students can do. We have to kind of explore the impossible, let them push those boundaries, push their potential, support them extending beyond, because the importance is inspiring growth, and that human connection. That's the number one thing, I believe, is human connection. So that was shared in that pedagogic discourse too. So that really stuck with me, giving opportunities for teachers and students to thrive. Recommendation I have for Porter's Neck is for us to be more data driven in our weekly PLC grade level meetings next year. We have this awesome spreadsheet called the data profile sheet, where every teacher puts in every kid's data for every test score, every assessment, all information about these kids, and then it just kind of sits there. We update it throughout the year, but then we don't really do anything with it. So using that as a driving force in PLCs to be more intentional and focused on ongoing data, and collaboration, more meaningful conversation, so that all stakeholders are a part of student growth and achievement. So yeah, that's kind of my reflection on Standard 2, and I will include my APA resources on my post.